Season, how nice was it to get out there and finally play?
It was real nice. I mean, we were kind of prepared. We practiced as hard as we could to prepare ourselves for that game Saturday. So not too much of a surprise for us, but a surprise for everybody that hasn't been locked in like us.
It was 8 catches, 166. It almost felt a little bit quiet from our perspective. I mean, maybe all the points. I guess how did it feel? Kind of casual for you a little bit, just to have a 166 game like that?
Yeah, it was kind of casual. I mean, it was a career high for me, but like our standard has changed. I just kind of brought my practice perspective into the game, so it was just kind of making like big plays were just like practice plays. It wasn't really new.
Now that you have a game under your belt in this system, what are your takeaways from what you saw?
To be honest, just practice harder and harder every week just to prepare for Saturday. Everything that we did last Saturday was everything that we did in practice the whole week.
We talked a lot this obviously about the strength and kind of bulking up, and it kind of felt like it really translated into that first game. I guess how important was week one for you personally? I mean, I know you have aspirations and goals this season to kind of get off on a right foot, and I guess how much confidence does that give you moving forward?
It gives me confidence, of course, but I think it mostly gives our team confidence, especially, me taking the step of being a leader, my first time being a leader this year. I just think that, we're just every player is gonna follow their leader, and if our leaders can lead as best as we can in practice, then everything we do it's not gonna be too much of a surprise for us.
First game with 200-yard receivers since 2019. Obviously, Coach Lashley brings that with him. How much does that show the way the game's going to be called, and also the weapons you guys have?
I mean, it shows a lot. Just for that being the first game, it shows that we haven't opened the playbook, and we got to do that. We weren't really thinking about two receivers having 100 yards. We were just thinking about executing and making the plays that we usually make, and it just turned out that we both had 100 yards plus.
Did you notice any change in confidence in Tanner, game one versus, just even at his best last year?
Yeah, I noticed a lot of change in Tanner, to be honest. Obviously he's real confident, but I think that plays I think Coach Lashley and Coach Woods Brewer, all our offensive coaches, I think they play a good part in that, because we're not too worried about making mistakes in practice. So we do everything full speed, and then if we're doing it full speed, eventually we'll get it down, execute, and just keep working to get it better and better.
There were a couple balls that Tanner threw to you where there was a guy, kind of covering you, but you were able to kind of, either go up and make a play or kind of outmuscle him. I guess when it comes to plays like that, do you communicate, or have you communicated with Tanner, like, hey man, like, I'm strong enough for it? Is it kind of just an unspoken thing, like, here, throw it up, I go get it?
To be honest, it's just, like I said, really everything starts at practice. So if I'm doing it in practice, Tanner knows that he can do it in the game. We don't really have to talk about it. It's just it's our own kind of communication. It's just trust within each other.
I know a lot was talked about depth, but to really kind of see it play out, obviously Bo out, Jake went out early, and you guys still have more guys. Roderick coming in. You guys have guys to fill that void. How fun is that to see, just no matter who's out there, those plays being made?
It's really fun, to be honest. It's just like, for me being it like my last year, it's kind of cool to be able to really go through 3 years and now really enjoy this experience and be the older dog to watch these players I guess basically grow under me, and I'm just watching them get better and better as I'm getting better.
Yeah, Coach Woods talked about how your professionalism and being able to practice every day this fall was kind of a big thing when people were kind of dealing with injuries and stuff. I guess, were you conscientious of being the professional leader and kind of coming to practice every day and kind of setting that standard? Or was it just kind of something you do?
To be honest, it was, I just know James. When I was here, James was a good practice player, and he's been in the league for a good time. He's just been constantly getting better and better in the league. So I feel like just our game, going from practice to the game, everything translates to practice, and just practice hard.
Kamara and TJ looked kind of like he did, before he got the injury, and Kamara obviously looked fast. I guess, what was your just perspective of watching kind of that backfield with all the depth that had Trey, obviously, and Tyler both had touchdowns?
It's depth everywhere, to be honest. It's crazy. I love seeing TJ get back out there. He's doing his thing. I was really excited to see Kamar. I watched him in practice, but it's a difference between the practice and the game, and he just turned on another notch, and I'm excited to see him play this year.